Hey, how's it going, everybody? Here we're at Lakeview and Fullerton. There, you see it there. Just waiting to cross the street here. Here's the Patricians. That's looking west on Fullerton, Chicago, Illinois. We got a beautiful day here. Oh, what a privilege it is to just take a break here at lunch. I'm working from home today, Friday, before the big Texas trip here. So, yeah, we'll just tootle through Lincoln Park. I think I'm going to head to the lakefront again, but instead of heading north, we'll head south down to North Avenue Beach, and then we'll walk back through the park and the zoo, and maybe we'll get lucky and see some wildlife. Hey, Mary Therese, thanks for being on. Krista, Crystal Blue Funk, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in from Memphis there, Tennessee. Ernie, how you doing there? Appreciate it. Thanks for being on there. And yeah, look at, they're mowing the grass. Look at the buildings here on Lakeview all the way up there. We went there early in the week. We got beautiful sunshine. I know the air quality is probably still not ideal, but it's amazing that, imagine how much more beautiful it would be if we didn't have the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. There's the nice residential buildings there on Fullerton. Yeah, most of these benches here, look, in honor of Dr. Marjorie Barnett, beloved friend, champion of the arts. Her spirit inspires and connects us all there. So yeah, people donate money for benches there, and I think all these benches have a little plaque on them. There's the park district mowing the grass. Look how tall the grass got. The grass got really tall. It's like baling the hay there. The grass turned to seed. But hey, Chris, how you doing? Dolores, Nelios, happy chat there. Thanks for tuning in from Ireland, Nelios. I appreciate it. See, we're streaming worldwide here. Yeah, we'll head to Lake Michigan again. We'll see what the air quality looks like from Lake Michigan. I'm just going to take an easy walk here. We had a nice walk on TikTok. Yeah, again, I sorry for abruptly ending the live there. Sometimes when I think it might be a chemical imbalance. Sometimes if I'm tired, like in the end of the week, when I get near the end of my life, I was talking to some people in the mod chat about it, and the friends chat there, and the people help me out. You guys set me straight, give me perspective. Hey, there's the water fountain there. And I don't get that because I don't have a significant other. I'm not married. I don't have kids. So when you live alone for a long time, I learned this during the pandemic, you go off the deep end. I end up ranting and raving. I start acting like Elon Musk and Trump, talking to the walls there, you know. We'll get into that later. But hey, thanks for tuning in here. Michael, thanks everybody. Dolores, yeah, all the Michaels. And yeah, we'll head around here. And Zoom Patrol, Pacific Northwest, that's great. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I remember long before I was live streaming, Tim, Major Hustler there on his scooter, was tooling around Seattle. I don't know if you ever watch, and he knows some of the Portland live streamers. There's some streamers in Oregon there, and they've had same problems that I have of getting banned. MAGA gamed up on it because they were from Portland, and they got them banned just because they were from Portland. I think Tim and we really thought that, you know, we get that in Chicago too. But hey, here's the North Pond. We'll eventually get to the South Pond. I'm just seeing if there's any wildlife here. Yeah, maybe we'll go by the herons. We'll see if the herons are out here. So we're going to head over to Lake Michigan. I'm going to head down to North Avenue Beach, and then we'll come back through Lincoln Park and through the zoo, because the zoo's open today. So we got 12:10. I'll be streaming at least till 1 o'clock, and then I got to go back to work and finish up a few things, finish packing, you know. And I was confused about the dates of the Puerto Rican parade. The Puerto Rican parade is next weekend. I panicked and I searched last night, and I wasn't in the right state of mind last night, and this morning I was rushed, and I got the dates from 2024, and last year it was June 6th, 7th, and 8th. It was earlier last year, and I didn't see it was 2024. 2025, it's next weekend, so I'm glad I'm gonna miss it, because I'm gonna be in Texas. I'm gonna be in Texas celebrating Father's Day with my father and his grandchildren, my nephews, my sister, my brother-in-law. And So I'm going to miss the Puerto Rican parade this year. I wish I could film it. The Blues Fest is going on this weekend. The Blues Fest is happening starting today, tomorrow, and Sunday. That's in Millennium Park, Grant Park, downtown Chicago. And but I might get some of the reruns from last year. We went under the Puerto Rican flags there on Division, there, Humboldt Park. I do want to get back over to Humboldt Park, especially see people on that beach. They got a little pond there with a natural, or not, they truck in the sand. And Julie, how you doing there? I'm really Julie Reed there. Yeah, I got the Blues. Hey, they're playing music here. Hey, look at all the geese lined up here. So this is the casting pier at the Peggy Notabart Nature Museum, and look at all the geese. It's like they're doing a parade here. Let's film these beautiful geese here, all lined up here in front of the Peggy Notabart. Sounds like they're doing a graduation. They're doing pomp and circumstance. Maybe they're having a ceremony at the yeah, she's taking a picture of it too. All the geese are lined up here. We saw some baby geese yesterday, and we saw some baby ducks. There's geese there. On there. Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's get them here. See, simple signs of nature here. The geese in the North Pond, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Nice reflections in the water there. Here, let's see what's happening over here. I hear some music. Hey, riding the bike. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Sorry about talk about the tragic news. Ernie messaged me about it too. Thanks for putting your name there. It helps me out. So yeah, rest in peace, Officer Crystal Riviera. Yeah, unfortunately, sad news. Last night, a Chicago police officer was killed in the line of duty there, and I think it was in Chatham. It was South Side. It was Drexel and like 80 something, and yeah, it's always, she was only 4 years on the force. She was a mother, and our condolences go out to her and all the Chicago police officers that risked their life. They're keeping us safe. They were just exercising a warrant or trying to get somebody with the weapons, and they had to chase somebody, and fortunately it ended up in tragedy. So thanks for mentioning that and mentioning her name here. So let's see what's going on here. I hear pomp and circumstance here. Yeah, they're having a graduation ceremony here. Yeah, you hear that? I feel smarter every time I hear that music. So there it is. You see how they rent this out. It's the Freedom Family Terrace there, and they're doing a graduation ceremony. Oops. Look at that beautiful view there. I want to get this bridge here, this beautiful bridge over the by the Peggy Notabart Nature Museum here. Yeah, Anita, you hear that? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, graduation. Time of graduation is at hand here. Yeah, thanks Christy and everybody else, and Ernie for the condolences, and Julie Reed. Yep, D. Michael, fallen policewoman there. That's okay. We'll still do some streaming in Texas. You please understand that I feel, a responsibility to my friends and followers here to, if I miss a day or two, or if I miss, just know that I'm spending time with my family. I'll usually try to go live once a day. I might not hit all the YouTubes. I'll try to go live in the morning, and thanks for letting me have a vacation here. And we're heading through. This is the tall grass natural prairie here. We got dive bombed by the red-tipped blackbirds yesterday, so I got to watch out here. They'll come get me, and they're I sense that I see the shadows flying overhead. The birds are guarding their nest here. That's where we started. We were over there by those buildings. Here, let's head over to Lake Michigan here. What a beautiful day. D. Michael, you having a birthday? Join the 70 Club. Is that 70 years old, or is that something else? Thanks for tuning in. If anybody's having a birthday there, Michael, or anybody else there. I know I missed Shauna's, and hopefully Shauna will feel better. I think she's under the weather. I think Taco's under the weather. I think a lot of people, maybe this air quality, you see how hazy it is? I think the air quality is making people sick. And I know I've seen a lot of people wearing masks, and it's just not just for the air quality, it's also because of sicknesses going around. So 70 years young, that's great. Yeah, age is a state of mind there. They had on the news, there was a woman, she was over 100 years old, and she survived breast cancer, and she just had surgery. She still drives a car. She passed her driver's license. She's 100 years old. And that's inspiring to all of us. There's so many people, lifespans are getting longer. People stay active. My father's in his late 70s. He still rides a bike. He still rides a scooter. He still drives. And I called him yesterday to coordinate for the trip, and he was working out. There was my dad working out. He was all sweaty. Yeah, happy birthday there, D. Michael. Yeah. Here, look at this nice sculpture here. Yeah. Here, let's head over to the lake here. Let's see what's shaking. Let's see if anybody's at, it's 67 degrees. To me, this is an ideal temperature. I mean, it's not too hot. But it's not cool. It's warm enough to wear shorts. It's warm enough to go to the beach. It's not warm enough to swim. The water's cold. Here, the Lincoln Park Zoo. I wish so much the Caldwell Lily Pool was open. This is 2 seasons in a row it's going to be closed. And here, let's cross the street here. Let's get across before the light changes here. So if you're ever at Fullerton, this is Fullerton and Cannon. That's the entrance to the Lincoln Park Zoo parking. You'll see this silver obelisk stainless steel panel. And this symbolizes where the Great Chicago Fire ended. It's almost sculptural because they don't have a plaque or anything. If you don't know that, you're like, what is that? But that's what that is. It's where the Great Chicago Fire, the thing finally ended in 1871 because this was the edge of the lake at that time. And the winds blew the fire north and northeast, and eventually was extinguished by the lake. High at 92. Yeah, it's hot in Texas. I know we're going to head into the Texas heat here. It's always amazing it's quite a shock when we get to Texas and feel that 99 degree heat and humidity in Houston. Yeah, we can't really smell the fire, but we can see the haze. We can see we'll see how hazy it is along the lake, and it affects yesterday in the morning we couldn't even see the skyline of Chicago because it was so hazy. Hey, thanks for tuning in. There, see, look, does it look hazy? It looks a little hazy there. It's not as hazy as it was yesterday, so maybe the air quality is a little bit better. This is the rowing slip in between DeSable Lakeshore Drive and Lincoln Park there, the zoo. And we're at Fullerton looking south to the John Hancock there, but I'm working from home today. And yeah, look at Diversity Harbor there. Sometimes we walk along that. We'll head right through here. It's gonna be 100 degrees, Julie. Antique store. They didn't want you to leave. It's a tad better. That's good. Here, we're across the street here. Lazy, lazy days. Yeah, I'll bring my flip-flops. I'm gonna bring my swim trunks and my flip-flops. I'm gonna be swimming in my sister's pool there. Yeah, they can't afford me. They can't afford anyone. Here's the yeah, these are like protozoa, amoebas, aquatic. These nice murals here. We underneath the Fullerton exit from DeSable Lakeshore Drive, and they got the artist there, I think, and she painted a lot of stuff about 10 years ago for the Peggy Notebart Nature Museum, and that's what this is, the stop. This is the exit you get off for the Lincoln Park Zoo and the Peggy Notebart Nature Museum. Hey, we got sailboats. This is going to make it worth it. There just looks like there's a sailboat regatta here. We got June the 6th, 2025, Lakefront Restaurant. Let's cross the street here. This morning we walked by the L tracks because we're celebrating the 133rd anniversary of the oldest CTA train line. They're the Green Line. It wasn't always called the Green Line, but that's how old our elevated mass transit system is. They built it and they launched it on June the 6th, 1892. And look at those sailboats. Look at all those sailboats out on the horizon. They're doing a regatta or something there. Look how nice that looks. Lake Michigan at Fullerton, Chicago, Illinois. Look at the bikes. Yeah, the beach. Let's go down to the beach. See, there's some geese. There's a statue. There's a statue, and that used to be the Tuberculosis Museum, but now it's the Theater on the Lake restaurant. And yeah, let's head to the beach. Well, it'll take us a while. There's this land they added. It's a big lawn, but it has nice views. Was that yesterday? We went up there. In the evening, we walked up to Belmont. That was a nice walk. On the way back, we went to the driving range. Hey, there's a nice picture there, taking pictures with the boats there. And here we'll cross the bike path here. And we'll head down towards the skyline. So we'll have the skyline in our view. And it's a few waves. Maybe there'll be a few waves on the beach. It's not really that choppy. Here comes a helicopter. It's always a helicopter. Heading up to Lakefront. I don't know if it's a sightseeing tour. Probably that's what it is. But here, let's head down here. 140 over 90. What does that mean? That's awesome. Well, happy birthday there, D. Michael there. Yeah, it's a little hazy. Yeah, it's one of the biggest fires in history, yeah. Purple haze is in our brains. Yeah, go swimming. I'm gonna go swimming. Beautiful skyline. Thanks for hometown, sweet home Chicago. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Chicago. Chicago. Blood pressure. Yeah. I gotta do my ohm. I'll be like Jackie Gleason in Smoking the Bandit. I'll be the ohm. Gotta lower my anger here. But here they got they got a bar here. It's called Casamigos. They got, hey, you can sit right out here at this bar, Casamigos. And they got a little beer garden. Let's go out here and hang with the geese here. Get geese all around. Yeah, we got a lot of smoke. I know. I know it's air quality's bad. Look at all the smoke I've breathed in over the years, sitting around campfires, and I'm not excusing it, you know, or extracurricular partying. You know, we used to. A lot of my friends used to smoke tobacco products for years, and I would sit in bars and inhale that smoke. Whatever that was much worse than what I'm breathing now. And even secondhand smoke, as we know, is bad for your health. And I think the societal good that we're all getting it. I remember I used to go to amusement parks or ball games. Everybody was smoking. You know, I'm old enough to remember the days. I remember when you could still smoke on planes. I was a little kid. My parents, they flew us to Los Angeles in 1984. I think I was like grammar school. And yeah, the front part of the plane was still the smoking section in 1984. And you could still smell the smoke in the non-smoking section. People remember that. It was, you know, it's impossible to. I can't believe they used to allow people to. It shows you how pervasive it was in society, you know. Yeah. Well, your dad got lymphoma from secondhand. It shows you that's how dangerous it is, and that's why, you know, there was the class action lawsuits, and you know, yeah. Yeah, you can still smoke in the casinos. Yeah, at least you can. There you go. So you can go gamble and smoke it up. Smoke it if you got them. I got to be careful. I don't want to trip the algorithm. I know YouTube's much more forgiving, but you never know. You know, stranger like Marty Marura. He got a ban from TikTok. He still doesn't know why. He got a 3-day ban. He was just talking. Boop. They said he violated some guideline. He's baffled just like the rest of us. Marty Mayora is one of the nicest. You know, he's recovering from throat cancer himself, and they banned his live. See, that's why we're on YouTube. That's why we're on TikTok. And if I have to, we'll stream from Instagram if we lose the other two. But here's Lake Michigan. We'll head down to North Avenue Beach here. We'll walk along the shores of Lake Michigan here. There's a boat out there. They have the sailboats for way out there. There's the geese. See, this is a great place to fly a kite. We came here into June after the Pride Parade last year, and there was DJs. People were just dancing right there. The DJs said they're going to do that again this year. They're going to celebrate 40 years of house music, or the 41 years of house music, and there's going to be a house music run along the lakefront around the same time as the Pride Parade's going on in the June here. And I'll try to go over here, and they're supposed to have DJs, and hopefully I want to see more people dancing to EDM house music along the lakefront. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do about it? You feel outnumbered? I'm not gay, but it doesn't bother me. You feel like your sexuality's compromised because there's too many people that aren't the same sexual orientation as you? Get used to it. You can embrace it. Go with the flow. You know? But, yeah. Let people love who they want to love. And I know sometimes even heterosexual public displays of affection, they make me uncomfortable. So that's even heterosexual public displays of affection. So I know you're probably, you know, people are shocked by public displays of same-sex affection. But even heterosexual, sometimes I'm like, get a room. No one wants to see that. How you doing there? So, hey. Yeah, I agree with that. Keep it above 18. I agree with that 100%. Here comes this Coast Guard. Here's a Coast Guard helicopter. I'm not pushing any liberal agenda here. I'm just trying to film the lakefront here. Look at this Coast Guard here. But hey, you're in luck. You're in luck since you brought up a political issue. I'm going to talk about the Trump-Musk dispute here. This is a perfect time here until we get to the beach. And I'm sure everybody saw it. Now it's kind of calmed down, but you know it's real because the president's selling his Tesla. You know how he bought the Tesla, the great fanfare, and it was parked there in the White House. And, you know, then there was some people that own Tesla stock. They're trying to find any reason not to sell the stock now that both MAGA and liberals are selling Tesla stock. Elon has found a way to anger both liberals and MAGA against his company. Isn't that amazing? The smartest, richest guy in the world has found a way to piss off both sides, the right and the left, because MAGA is sticking with Trump, of course. And if Elon is now the sworn enemy of Trump because of this big bill, MAGA is going to stick with Trump, and they're going to turn on Elon, and Trump's going to use him as a foil. And isn't that amazing? He took his money for the campaign, and now it's funny. We'll see how far Elon takes it. It's amazing that everybody saw this coming. It's amazing they made it this long without this bromance breaking down the way it is. But hey, thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago. We're on the Lakefront bike path here. Or the Lakefront bike path there. You see how they separated it? So here, we'll show you the bikes going by here. You got to breathe in the fumes of the cars when you're riding the bike. That's bad air quality too. Not all of them are EVs. Here's Lake Michigan. You got this little beach. There used to be, this beach is forming back. I'm glad to see this because there was a beach, you know, and then when they built that, it kind of washed away, and now it's starting to come back. So this is good to see. He wants to build a colony on Mars. Yeah, the rapture. Yeah, you can go live in Elon's heaven there. Yeah, what's going on there? Playing in the pool, smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Yeah, bowling alleys, 2005. That shows you how recent some of that is, you know, the laws. Well, that's why I filmed Richard's Bar, and then, you know, you can read between the lines. There are a few bars in Chicago where they're like speakeasies, where if you're really nice and tip them well, they might let you light up in the bar, and Richard's Bar is one of them. But they must be paying off the local, because it's still 2025, and when I opened the door there, I immediately smelled, and I was like, I can't film this. Everybody turned around. They're like, no, don't ruin it. I'm like, no, I don't want to expose it, you know. I'm not going to post a rerun. Everybody was at the bar ashing in Chicago. Go to Richard's Bar there on Grand in Milwaukee there. Used to be near Emmett's, but Emmett's became the Pearl Club. Here's the Sandbox Beach Cafe. So hey, welcome to Chicago here. We're walking along the lakefront. They got the Sandbox Beach Cafe open here. You can sit right here. Hey, let's see what they got here. Hours open 7 days a week, 11 to 5. Weather permitting, the Sandbox here. They got some nice seating. How you doing there? Pay by cash and save. I like that. Here they got chicken, beef tacos, guacamole, cold drinks. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad you're open here. This is great. What a great Sandbox Beach Cafe. Thank you there. Ice cream too. Cold drinks. Ben and Jerry's. That's good. It's right next to the restrooms here. So check it out here. You make a pit stop when you're biking or running along. Here they got a water fountain here. Let's check it out. I'm gonna get a drink here. So I'll let you look at the beach here. I'm gonna get a drink of water here real quick. Park closes at 11. But you see people here all hours of the night. They can just technically tell you to leave, you know. It's mainly so people don't camp out overnight.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to...
Yeah, Mahajanka, how you doing here? Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, we know her and we know Anita. Yeah, I know you want me to get in the water. Yeah, it's what, 50, like Anita said, it's like 57 degrees. It's pretty cool. But I want to get in the water when I go to Texas. I'm waiting until I'm gonna swim in my sister's pool there. Maybe we'll show you what it looks like once we get down there. My sister's okay with me. Hey, how you doing? Hey, that's good. See people saying hello here. So once we get past this last little, see this jetty here, we'll walk on the beach here. We got 1233. Thanks for tuning in here. We're on the shores of North Avenue Beach here. See, there's the skyline of Chicago, Lake Michigan. There's Navy Pier. Got little bitty waves today, just little bitty waves. There's the castaways there. How's everybody doing here? Happy Friday. Yeah, Lakefront. 58, so I was close. Ernie always keeps me up to date with the good info there. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's see if we can get across these sandbags here. See if I can get down. I can get up on them, but I can't get down. See, it's too rocky here, so we'll walk along the sandbags here. So here I'm looking at where I'm walking here, so I don't want to trip, because there's rebar that I'm stepping over here, and we'll get down over here where we'll get. I just got to get to a place where I can get down off on the other side here. Hey, up there, that's where I'll do, up there next to that tree. So, hey, welcome to Chicago, shores of Lake Michigan here. What a beautiful day. That's Fullerton up that way. North Avenue Beach. Nice breeze, cool lake breeze. Good time to take a road trip. There we go, we made it down. So here, I'll let you listen to the sound of the waves here. The north end of North Avenue Beach, Chicago, Illinois. We got about 67 degrees. Some hazy skies because of the Canadian wildfires. There's the skyline there. Hey, how's that? Very clean, yeah. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Michael, and everybody else there. Everything's cool. All the Michaels. D. Michael's got a birthday. So happy 7-0 there. Big 7-0. Yeah. No, that's fine. People are allowed to take the time off there. Michael took the morning off, which is fine. You know, I probably should have took the morning off there, but you know, we walked around the housing there in Lincoln Park. It was nice. And went down to Armitage. But nothing big was missed there. I do want to cut out, after I got asked to leave the music center there at the Pole, I went over to the old seminary where the Young Lords took it over in 69-70. There's a plaque there, and I'll post that in honor of June's Puerto Rican, you know, a lot of celebrations around the parade and the next weekend. And so we got to pay homage to that. Even in Lincoln Park, used to historically be a Puerto Rican neighborhood. Chuck De Los Santos talks about that in his book about the Sheffield neighborhood. Now it's mostly in Humboldt Park, and that's why the Puerto Rican flags are over there. There, we're at North Avenue Beach here. They do have, there's a lifeguard. There's a lifeguard there, and that's good. And we got very slight waves here, cool breeze, 67 degrees. Yeah, you want some leftovers? Yeah, people swim in this. It's just too cold. The reason no one's in the water, no one's at the beach. You see, these will be volleyball nets. They haven't been using these ones up, but later in the summer, all these volleyball nets will be used. Literally, almost 100 volleyball nets. Is that a tire? There's a tire. I think that's a tire washed up. There's a tire or something. What is that? There's the seagulls. But I'm heading down towards the Gulf of Mexico. And yes, I said the Gulf of Mexico. But we're going to be on the north side of Houston. I don't think we'll get down to Galveston. But you never know. Tire fish, that's what it is, yeah. Very rubbery. Yeah, I think they truck most of the sand in. We talk about it. If they have to add to it each year, or it'll all wash down, it'll all end up at the Indiana Dunes. Now, the Indiana Dunes beaches are natural. Those are natural dunes. The Michigan side, all the sands, the prevailing winds and the currents take the sand to Indiana Dunes and Michigan Dunes, and that's why they're over there. Historically, this shore of Lake Michigan didn't have natural beaches, but that's why they got this hook. You see this hook? And Montrose Beach has it too, and it's a jetty that keeps the prevailing currents. It had the same thing with the mouth of the Chicago River. It would silt up, and that's why Streeterville's there, because Streeterville is essentially a sandbar, because they created a big break wall to protect the mouth of the Chicago River from silting up. And so all the silt went north, and especially after the Great Chicago Fire, they pushed a lot of the rubble, and then they started building upon it, and that's some of the most expensive real estate in the city, where everything east of the John Hancock used to be part of the lake. Isn't that amazing? And that's why Michigan Avenue is called Michigan Avenue, because it used to be on the shores of Lake Michigan. There's the helicopter. Here, North Avenue Beach, 1239. How you doing here? So we'll eventually go down to the pedestrian bridge, and then we'll head back to the zoo, and I'll just head back to work. We'll be streaming at least probably to 1:15. I didn't get started right away. So thanks for tuning in here. And so next week, yeah, I'm taking a trip with my father to Texas. I probably will not stream at consistent times in the afternoon and evenings. I'll try to get the morning walks in on TikTok, but again, no promises. You can always check out the reruns if you miss it. I don't expect people to change their schedule for my schedule, but we will do some YouTube streams, and we will do mostly TikTok streams when I'm down there, but depending on where I'm streaming, I might do Old Town Spring from YouTube, because we can do a nice long stream and people can watch the whole thing. And we've gone to Old Town Spring before. We'll do the woodlands along the river walk there. They have a nice, it's not as nice as San Antonio's, but it's a suburban version of the, attempt to do like the San Antonio river walk in the suburbs of Houston. But it's different. They used to have their own little boats and stuff, but they don't even do the boats anymore. They got like fake trolleys and bike paths and things like that. There, Lake Michigan, North Avenue Beach, 67 degrees. We got 12:40 in the PM. There's a few more people on the beach here finally when we're further south here. Yeah, about to get out of work here. That's good. Yeah, surprise streams there. Honk bonk. Thanks for tuning in. Christopher, how you doing there? Lorraine. Yeah, we'll find it. Yeah, the pirate. You remember from my original count, we lost that. I'm glad you remember that. Who said that here? Hold on there. I lost it. There it is. See, I keep getting new comments, and then there we go. Scott, Charlotte. So Scott, you remember the pirate? Isn't that great? Yeah, we went to Old Town Spring. That was on my original account on TikTok. That was when I did one of my first face reveals, because I surprised everybody. I found a good old Texas boy. He was dressed as a pirate there with his, I assume that was his wife. I don't know, you know, or girlfriend. And he was walking down Old Town Spring. He was dressed as a pirate. He was armed, because you can walk around armed in Texas if you got it in a holster. And he had a neck brace on. And he goes, I'm Blackbeard. This is my old lady, white beard, or whatever he called her. And he was talking about, he thought I was a First Amendment auditor. And he goes, I was afraid he was going to tell me not to film me. He goes, you can film me. He goes, if you don't want to be filmed, don't be in public. And I was like, yeah, amen there, brother. He knows the law. And yeah, we'll see if we can find the guy that, during the Biden administration, he was flying the flag upside down. We'll see if he's got it right side up again now. Oh my God. Yeah, Old Town Spring. We'll see a lot of interesting shops there. Look at the clear waters here. It's like Caribbean waters here. The fresh water. This is not salty. This is fresh water. This is our drinking source. There's some people swimming. There's some people in the water there. Look at that. See how shallow it is. Yeah, they're in the water. Got lifeguards. North Avenue Beach. So here we'll head right across here. I got to start getting back or I'll never make it back to work. Yeah. So this is North Avenue Beach, Chicago, Illinois. You see that? That's the John Hancock. That's a portion of the skyline of Chicago. We're nearest the Gold Coast, but we're still in Lincoln Park. This is Lake Michigan, North Avenue Beach. We got about 67 degrees on Friday, June the 6th, 2025. We got 12:43 in the PM local time. They got these little, well, I don't know if that one's open. The Shore Club's open, Castaways is open. Here's people on the beach here. The flag's green, which means it's okay to swim. But the water is only 58 degrees, so you better bring a wetsuit. Here, North Avenue Beach. We're gonna head back through the Lincoln Park Zoo here. Happy Friday. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty beach there. Lucy Cat, how you doing? So here, yeah, they got, that's another little concession stand. Castaways is nice. I'm sure this weekend there'll be DJs there and bands and be charging. Yeah, everybody, I thought that was a motorcycle, but that was a car. That was a car making all that noise. So here we'll head across this pedestrian overpass. I'll give you one last look at the beach here when we go around. We're going to go over to Lincoln Park here. So, hey, North Avenue Beach here, Lake Michigan, Chicago, Illinois. 67 degrees. What a beautiful day here. Look at that boat. Okay, Great Chicago Fire was 1871. I can answer that one. Yeah, so 1871. And Chicago was had about 300,000 people when the fire happened, and then by 1790 it annexed a bunch of land and was 1 million people, and then by 1910 it was 2 million, and by 1930 it was 3 million. And then at that time Chicago was the second largest city in the United States. That's what we're still called the second city, because it was New York, of course, is always well, at least since the colonial period, or since the Erie Canal, been the largest city in the United States, and then Chicago. But we've been outpaced by Los Angeles. But we still have the second largest central business district with the skyscrapers, even larger than Toronto, which Toronto has an impressive skyline. This is Sabo Lakeshore Drive, looking north, and there's looking south. Traffic's moving fine. Thanks, Anita. Yeah, thanks for understanding, Anita. I realize most people understand. I shouldn't let the few people. There's only a small people that give me grief, and it's usually just because they're the people that give me grief anyway. you know, and I should just let it slide. Thanks for everybody for your feedback. And here we'll head down the stairs here. So we do this walk a lot on TikTok when I walk home here. It just, I thought, you know, I'd get some view of the lake there. El Chuzo. But the zoo's open. So since the zoo's open, that's the only thing. I wish I could get home in time that the zoo would still be open, so we could walk through the zoo in the evening. But it's always closed at 5 o'clock, and we usually don't walk through here until around 6:30 in the evenings. But here we're here at 12:47 in the afternoon. What a beautiful day. What a spectacular day. If you live in Chicagoland, get out here and enjoy this weather, because this is what we wait for all year. 67 degrees, sunshine. I know the air quality's bad. That's the only unfortunate thing. And yeah, our condolences go out to the Chicago Police Department there. We lost a Chicago police officer last night, a woman. She was a mother, and 4 years on the force. It's so tragic. You can search her name there. They didn't release her name at first, but we were talking about it earlier. Somebody put her name in the comments, and I appreciate that. There, look at that view that's looking through the Gold Coast to the Michigan Avenue, part of the Michigan Avenue skyline. You can't see the Sears Tower, but it's further away. Hey, let's head over to the South Pond. Let's see if we see any wildlife. Maybe we'll get lucky. It's very hard to spot the beavers, but we'll probably see turtles and geese, I'm hoping at least. And this is the giant soccer field here. Last night we went by the football field. There's an AstroTurf football field. They were doing like a training there. And hey, how about the Pacers? The Indiana Pacers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder there. Last second shot, 0.3 seconds, tenths of a second left on the clock. The Pacers were trailing the entire game. I'm a fair weather fan. I thought for sure they were going to lose that game. They kept coming back. And Halliburton there, again, coming up in the clutch there. The ranch dipping sauce. Yeah, leave it to Beaver. Look at these beautiful dogs here. How you doing there, doggy? We're looking for the squirrels. We'll see if we can find some squirrels. Look at this cottonwood tree. Look at that. There's the lemon tree. See, make lemonade out of lemons there. We lost that tree, but they turned it into a sculpture. Yeah, wasn't that a great game? You see that, D. Michael? Lucy Cat. Yeah, got great food. Honey mustard. Yeah, honk bonk. It's sad. Yeah. Yep, it's senseless violence, you know. It's so tragic. Yeah, I saw in Minneapolis that there was some people on Reddit saw that the ICE was rounding up people, so everybody ran out the street and tried to obstruct the ICE agents, and the police were just trying to referee the whole thing. The police were this is, you know, it's San Diego stuff's been Boston stuff's been going on. Chicago, we know South Loop, there was an incident. You know, it's getting real. We knew it was getting real. The Elon Musk spat will still escalate. We'll see how it plays out here. The stock market doesn't care. The jobs numbers came out this morning and they were better than expected, even though they were just barely. Who knows? You know, I remember during Obama, the CNBC and Jack Welch there from Home Depot, he always be like, "Oh, they're fudging the numbers. The jobs numbers can't be this good." And, you know, now I'm thinking the same thing, but it's because it's for the other administration, you know, and that's everybody. Who knows? You know, the stock market won't sell off until it does, and it'll happen overnight, and then it'll be too late to sell, and it'll be buy the dip, rinse, wash, repeat. Steady, slow and steady wins the race. Yes, Tesla stock dropped 14% yesterday. Now, some people already are just chomping to buy that. I'm amazed. Like I said, People know what I think about Elon. I think he's very lucky. You know, he's an entrepreneur. He's an investor. Everybody says he's a genius. Okay, whatever. He hires a lot of smart people. He's not the only one building the rockets. He's not the only one building the cars. He hires a lot of smart people to do it for him. That's what entrepreneurs do. And he just has a bunch of stock. And you can imagine somebody as smart as he is finding a way to piss off both liberals and MAGA, so that both MAGA and liberals are selling his stock at the same time. Because, of course, he pissed off liberals with Doge, and now he pissed off MAGA by attacking Trump. The one cardinal sin against MAGA: you can never criticize the charismatic cult leader. They'll even turn on Elon, even though he helped out Trump a lot. He did. And Trump just used him like he uses everybody else. And he used me too, use you, use everybody, even if you like him. You feel used? Here's the turtles. Look at the turtles here. Yeah, here's the turtles. Oh, there we go. There's some turtles in the North Pond here. Look at that. How you doing there, turtles? What do you say? Turtle power. Here, this is the South Pond here. Yeah, I saw that honk bonk. Yeah, that shows you his ego. This is all about ego and petulance. He thinks he can buy you and me, Oh, here's a turtle. Yeah, look at this turtle. This turtle's crawling across there. How you doing there, turtle? Look at, I ever seen a turtle move that fast? Look at that. Those women saw it, and it was, look, there it is. How you doing there, turtle? Yeah, you're okay. I'm not going to mess with you. See, it made it across there. Thought I was going to step on it. There's a turtle. Look at this turtle. How you doing there, turtle? You're in the grass. Yeah, what do you say? See, scenes of nature here by the South Pond. One time I saw a big snapping turtle. It was walking into the zoo. And I think I got some footage of it. That was before the age of live stream, and I just recorded it with my phone. You see that? Go, turtle, go. It was going fast. You ever see those turtles that are on little skateboards? Some people give their pet turtles, a little skateboard, and they terrorize the cats because the turtles can go really fast on those skateboards. And there's the turtles. Yeah, you see the turtle there. Oh, you did? You saw the same turtle? That's good. He gets around. That turtle gets around. I call that turtle rock right there. I still got to do the Fraggle Rock song. Wow, look at those turtles over there. So, look out by this branch here. Look at all those turtles there. Wow, there's like 6 or 8 of them there. Look at all those turtles on that rock there. Getting the sun. South Pond. Here we go. Turtle hotspot. Yeah. They're checking them out. People with binoculars. Look, people come out here to watch the wildlife. This is a beautiful landscaped area here. So the herons used to nest here, and they cut down all those trees. They replaced them, and then now they're up by the wolves there in the zoo. There's a nice view to the John Hancock there. We're not going down there. We're going to head around the pond here. Hey, here's some geese. Here's some baby geese. How you doing here? Look at that. Oh, the baby geese. How you doing? Yeah, eating the grass there. Look at all the dinosaurs here. Yeah, munching on the grass. So hey, let's head over this way. People do. We see people feed it all the time. I mean, people do whatever the hell they want to. I don't know if they want you to feed them. It depends on what you feed them. It's like the chickens we see at the netting horse school there. They're like, don't feed them junk. Feed them good, like vegetables and stuff. Don't feed them Cheetos. Look at that turtle. Turtle's on the side there. Hey, look at its head there. Look at that. We're seeing all kinds of turtles. That's a big one. Let's see if we can get around the other side. Let's see. So here's where we were at. We walked around this whole. See how they got a nature boardwalk here. And yeah, Jennifer You Should Eat comes over here a lot. And other people. Here's Christopher Dodson came up here too. Yeah, checked out the Lincoln Park here. Yeah, it's cute. Can you feel the love? Can you feel the love? Look at these turtles. We got a nice sunny day, brings out all the turtles there. Turtle pond. Oops. It's hard for me to walk and zoom in. There we go. Man, you get what's going on here. I don't see any beavers though. Beavers are probably sleeping. Man, the zoo, free zoo. Hey, Christopher, can you believe it shows you? I just got to ignore it, you know. Every time I film the zoo, somebody doesn't like it, but it shows you even something, you know. I know they're worried about the animals. They're worried about them being caged up. But, you know, positive, negative, everything. And, there's the helicopter. There's the Grant statue there. Look how nice that looks. Yeah, this nice boardwalk here. And this boardwalk wasn't always here. They built it about 15 years ago. I remember when they built it. When I moved here, you could rent those swan boats, the paddle boats, and you would always see people in those paddle boats, just kind of like the rowing pond there in New York City Central Park. But they use actual rowboats for those. And they did in the old days. That people would have the rowboats. Yeah, all my life there. Turtles ate all the frogs? Yeah, probably. Some of the snapping turtles will eat the geese too. The little baby geese will disappear. Somebody saw the giant Gronk snapping turtle in the Chicago River. Look at that nice view. We just walked through there. There, we'll show you the nice view from the top of the bridge there, and then we'll head through the zoo. I'll probably go to 12:15 here, so don't worry. I know some people got to get back to work. It is a Friday. I got to get back to work. Yeah, the reflection on the pond there. How you doing, Michael? Thanks for being on. I really appreciate you and the whole team here. Anita, Mary Therese. I hope Shauna feels better. Taco's been feeling under the weather. Anybody else sick? Hey, D. Michael's got a birthday. 70, big 7-0 there. Baby ducks. Lucy the cat. Lucy cat, how you doing? So here, let's show you this nice view. South Pond here. Yeah, what's work? Yeah, happy birthday. Look at that skyline view there. Isn't that nice? Yeah, we'll head across here. So it looks like there's a lot of field trips at the Lincoln Park Zoo. So I'll just go through there really quickly. We'll just see the flamingos and the lions and the seals, and that's all we're gonna see because I got to get back to work. But it's nice that you can cut through there. They used to have this gate open, but they don't anymore. So I got to walk more along the pond. There you can see all the way to the Sears Tower there. And here's the skyline. Here's the Genie Gang Pavilion here. Look at that. Yeah, the three Michael Tiers were all in the house here. Michael Rodriguez, D. Michael, and Michael Anderson. That's great. Yeah, better late than never there. You can always watch the reruns. That's why I'm posting this, because like next week when I'm laying by the pool and people are like, why aren't you live streaming? I'm like, watch the reruns. We got hundreds and hundreds of reruns. I'm sure there's some you haven't seen. And if you run out of money, watch Chris Presents. He's got hundreds and thousands of reruns. Watch Christopher Dodson's reruns. Watch this Gemini 4K 60 frames per second. He goes all over to all the cultural events and we see him in different places. And watch this Gemini. All that's on YouTube. All that's on YouTube. All that content there. And hey, and Christopher Dodson's got a lot of Chicago content now too, which is great. So here's where the barn, I call these the barn swallows. See, here's the barn swallows. Yeah, look, see how they got the little mud nest. There's the barn swallows. So we saw the bank swallows at Montrose Beach. They actually go in sandbank. These ones go under the bridge, and they do mud and little grass, and they build their little condos there. And if I was a barn swallow, that's your view in the morning. You go out there and you fly over the pond there, you eat the bugs, the bats come out. There's right there, there's a swallow right there. How you doing there? Look at that. So hey, let's head to the zoo. You see the chimpanzee? Yeah, we got a nice primate house there. They got the great apes, the gorillas, and the chimpanzees there. Isn't that a nice habitat they got there for them? They can lay in their little hammocks and go outside. Yeah, it's over there. So I got reruns of all that, and Christopher does too. There's the Cafe Briar. Let's see if we see the beavers. They're looking at something. You see any beavers? Is there any beavers out here? Or turtles? No. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just checking. That's good. You never know. Yeah, we'll head through here. We'll go through the zoo. We got some wind here, so welcome to the Windy City Cafe Briar here, South Pond, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got 67 degrees, 102 in the PM, and we're heading back home so I can get back to work here. I started a little late. But hey, better late than never. See, some people just joined us, so yeah, you're in luck. Yeah, sometimes we see the geese and beavers over here. The Beaver Lodge, we didn't pass it. It's over by towards the Grant statue a little bit. It looks like the zoo's really crowded today. Cafe Briar's crowded. They got an outdoor cafe there. You can sit right there, and then they got an ice cream shoppy, and then you can get the slush puppy, and then they got concessions in the zoo. They haven't turned this fountain on. This is a waterfall, but I don't know why they're not using it. Maybe because of the beavers or something. Here, we'll head through the zoo, Lincoln Park Zoo, since it's open. And I'll just show you how you can walk right through here. Yeah. Ernie, Bobby, how you doing there? Powder Girl, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Yeah, taxes. Yeah, nothing's free. I know, I still pay. At least I know some of my taxes go for this. At least I can use it. Lincoln Park Zoo. We're eating the Brower Gate here. And, oh, there's the musician. We got a clown. Yeah, the musician's always here, but we got a clown too. Hey, look at that. How you doing? That's great here. We'll head right through here. And we'll head over towards the flamingos here. Lincoln Park Zoo. Oops, we're on Friday here. And kangaroos are down that way. Hey, how you doing there? It's good, looking good. And, oops. They have like folk singers and other. Hey, there's the Pierre deer. I think that's what they call this. David Pierre deer, is that what they call this? Lincoln Park Zoo there. One time we saw it, it was trying to pick up a stick with its antlers. What a beautiful day here. Yeah. Prince, how you doing there? Ernie. Yeah, there's kangaroos, but sometimes they're not out. I don't have time to go down there. I got to get through here. Yeah, we'll keep looking for the beavers. I got reruns. That's why when I do encounter the beavers, I make sure to post a rerun because it's a rare. Jennifer's been looking for them too, and one time she saw 4, but I don't think we've ever seen 4 together. Oh wow, they just planted this, so they added some nice flowers here. Look at these purple flowers here. Look at that. Lincoln Park Zoo. See, that's the monkey house there, little monkey house, and they got some flowers and stuff here. So hey, there's a lot of field trips here. We'll see if we can catch the flamingos here. Yeah, Chicago, Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, there's the flamingos. Yeah, look at the flamingos. Yeah, let's check them out here. Yeah, the flamingos, Lincoln Park Zoo. Look at this. Very nice. kicking their legs. So the white ones are the youngs. They're the younger ones. They're not completely pink yet. I learned that by reading a sign here. Yeah, they're eating their food there. The seagulls always try to steal their food. These other birds, these other ducks. New arrivals, Chilean flamingos there. Yeah. So I used to be able to walk through here in the morning and they would be out, and it was so nice walking to work there just by the flamingos. It was a great way to start the day. Yeah, mods do a great job there. Yeah, free zoo. It's open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. most days, except for I think Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm not for sure. And sometimes they close it down for charge events. They'll have a special event, or the zoo lights. They'll charge you for that, but that's only in the holiday time. The rest of the year it's free zoo. And there's also the Brookfield Zoo, which is in western suburbs here. Here's the snow leopard. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the tail. Yeah. Yep. But we got good footage of the snow leopard. So here, we'll see if the lions are out, and if the lions aren't out, we'll check out the seals, and then I got to go back to work. So if you want to see more of the zoo, check out my live tab. I got hour-long reruns where we go through the zoo. And here's the ducks. Look at the ducks. And we got many clips of the polar bear swimming, and the seals, and the meerkats, and the giraffes, and lions, and seals. Yeah, the Pepper Family Wildlife Center. Yeah, flamingo. Yeah, that was the real pink flamingo. I know most people got the plastic ones in their yard, or some people do, especially in Florida. There's cotton candy. Yeah, it's free zoo. Christopher discovered that too. And you just walk right in. Isn't that great? I know there's a zoo in Central Park, but you got to pay to go in that one. That's the one they use in Madagascar. But see if the lions are out here. They're over there. There's the lions lying around. So you see how they have a nice big habitat. They gave them the whole tiger exhibit as well. Let's see if the seals are out here. So they got popcorn, snow cones. There's the gift shop. Lincoln Park Zoo here, free zoo. People are sitting out at the Landmark Cafe. They got a little train ride. And here's the seal pond. And that's housing. People live right next to the zoo there. Very expensive housing, but it's possible. Everything for a price. Everything for a price. So you can go underwater viewing. You can go down there. And here comes the seal. Here comes the seal right here. Look at that. Giving us a cameo. Oh, going back under there. How you doing there, seal? It's like a gray seal. Let's see if it comes out here. There it is, like a torpedo. Swimming around there. There, let's keep going. Yeah. I'd rather the taxpayer money go to this than to padding Elon's bottom line there. And that was the most, to me, the most hypocritical thing about what he was doing with Doge is that he himself received billions of dollars in government subsidies for his companies, and it was so easy for him to cut people that were just, trying to do their best. You could fault bureaucrats. Yes, there are bureaucrats that, maybe are milking the system, but it's not all. The vast majority of people going to government, they sacrifice, and really care about the causes that they are working for. And that includes Amtrak, PBS, NPR, You know, and I know people think it's a bastion of the left, but you know, they're not trying to become billionaires and sell a bunch of stock off the government. You know, create cryptocurrency when you're president of the United States. Yes, I'm critical of that. I don't think any president, right or left, should be able to sell their own cryptocurrency when they're trying to be the servant of the public. You know, so I'm not MAGA. Here's Schiller. Here's the Schiller statue here. Here's the beautiful. They finally got the flowers in here. See people having. Hey, they're filming viral videos right there. Here's the fountain here. This is the conservatory. But this is my opinion. I understand people have opinions other than me. Trump might be your guy. That's you're right. He's president of the United States. I got to respect the office, even if I don't respect the man. And you know, see if the rule of law holds here. Here's hey, you got marigolds. Here's the nice planted area here. Hey, thanks Nuchu and Mia and Lucy Cat. Yeah, independent. Independent's the best way to be. I commend anybody because even the Democrats have let me down. This last election, they really let me down. They insulted even my intelligence, and I lean to the left. So if I feel insulted by them, I can imagine if you were on the other side, you know, you felt like you were being talked down to, lectured to, not being told the whole truth about Biden's health. They did that. There's really something there, you know, and I'm still angry about it too. Here's the fountain here. Here's the fountain. And I don't want to film these kids here. Sometimes people get in this fountain here. Sometimes I've seen dogs get in there, people taking a bath. This is a nice fountain here by the Lincoln Park Zoo. There you see the top of the John Hancock. So I'll get you up to the Billy Shakespeare statue. We usually do this in the evenings. Thanks for coming on here for my little tour of Lake Michigan. If you missed any part of this, North Avenue Beach, Lincoln Park Zoo. You can check out the rerun there on the live tab on YouTube. I'm going to go to Texas. I'm going to get on the road there, take the Amtrak. I might stream from, if I get to Union Station early enough, I'll stream from Union Station tomorrow because I'm catching the Amtrak. Going to meet my father in Effingham. And then we're going to drive. He's got a nice vehicle, brand new car he bought in 2023. I guess it's not brand new now. But we've been driving that to Texas. It'll take 2 days to get down there. And hopefully Monday, next time I might stream if we find something interesting on the road there. So, but you know, by Monday, we'll be streaming from Texas there. So looking forward to it. Thanks for letting me take a vacation. Spend time with my father. He's in his late 70s there. And boy, I can't wait to see my sister, my brother-in-law, my 3 nephews. They bought the youngest one a little scooter. He's been scooting around on it barefoot. My sister says, don't wear some shoes if you're gonna ride a motorbike down the street. You might need to put your foot down. He's riding around barefooted. You know, he's like Huck Finn. Yeah, thanks Christy. Will Robinson, thanks a lot. And D Michael. No, we're going to Houston, the suburbs of Houston. I've gone to Austin. I've got reruns on YouTube with my father. We were not last Christmas, the Christmas before, between Christmas and New Year's, we went to San Antonio and we went to Austin. So if you're bored and looking for my content next week when I'm not live streaming, search Austin, Brian Really Chicago there on YouTube. You can go back to Christmas time of 2023, right before 2024. We were in Austin. And we were in San Antonio. We did the 7 Spanish missions there. One of them was the Alamo, but we also did the other ones, some of them, larger ones. Here's the Billy Shakespeare statue, the Belton Stratford, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your Friday there. I'll probably come on a little bit tonight. On TikTok, I don't know for sure what I'm going to do. I probably won't stream that long, or if I do, I'll do something easy. I was going to go over to Humboldt Park, but since they're not doing the Puerto Rican festivities till next weekend, I'll maybe come up with something else to do. And Blues Fest starts tonight downtown. That's an idea. Maybe I'll go. I don't know if I want to go back down there just for that, but we'll figure out something to do here. Here's the bird condo. Hey, these flowers are about to burst forward here. What are these, peonies? What are these type of flowers here? Yeah, look at that. So hey, here's the bird condo. Yeah, let's check these out. Look, we'll end it on these beautiful flowers. Thanks everybody. Thanks to my mods, and appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the reruns, giving a like there, and appreciate your attention. And we'll see you from Texas here next time we stream on YouTube. Appreciate it. Yeah, happy birthday. And D. Michael. Yeah, we'll see y'all later there. Thanks a lot, everybody. Oh, it's a Greek festival. Okay, I'll look into it. Thanks a lot. Okay, bye. There it is. All right, bye.